Good afternoon. Welcome to Soundtracks with Birdman. Today, I was somewhat inspired from the Houston Symphony concert, the John Williams concert that they did this past Saturday. What would be the ultimate John Williams playlist for a concert that takes place in the great state of Texas? So I thought about it, and I made some notes, and I'm going to go over them. Give me your thoughts on my selection of, the Dream Texas concert for John Williams. I'm going in chronological order according to release of the film. 1966, The Rare Breed. I bet hardly no one has heard of this film. It does not have a soundtrack release. You can find bits and snippets here and there. Bits and snippets are on YouTube. Look it up. This is like pre-Cowboys. It has similar sounds to Cowboys. I really wish someone would get the rights to this and be able to release the score on CD. If you can do that, I will crowdfund it right now. I can send you $5 in PayPal right now if you can crowdfund The Rare Breed. Next, 1966, same year, The Plainsman. Yeah, there's not much of The Plainsman out there. There's some horrible sounding snippets on YouTube. I would like an actual soundtrack release of The Plainsman. But when you think of Texas, what do you think about? Cowboys, right? So The Plainsman. And those who are wondering what The Rare Breed is about, it's basically about cows, basically. Hello, David Pinsack. How are you? Good to see you. Going through the top John Williams kind of Texas sounding play set for a symphony in Texas. Next, 1968, Sergeant Riker. No soundtrack release for this either. Why not? There should be one. Hello, Retro Reels. How are you? Sergeant Riker is a war drama. When I think of Texas, I think of barbecue, America, freedom, American flag, pick 'em up trucks. Did I say barbecue? I'm hungry. I always think about barbecue. But Sergeant Riker is a war film. I think the spirit of Texas is that of loving your country and defending freedom. So I'm lumping that in there. Next up, 1968, The Reavers. I know what you're thinking. That story did not take place in Texas. You're absolutely right, but it did take place in the South, and Texas is in the South. So I included that one. 1972, one of my personal favorite John Williams film scores, The Cowboys. It's about cowboys. What's more Texas than cowboys, right? And next month, First Sarah Band is releasing The Cowboys on a 2 LP set for Record Store Day. Secure your copy if you can. Next up, 1973 is Tom Sawyer. I didn't take place in Texas. I'm aware of that. It did take place in the South. And once again, Texas is in the South. John Williams provided the score for Tom Sawyer, songs by Richard M. Sherman and Robert B. Sherman. It's kind of like a musical. It's kind of cheesy. The score's pretty good. Look it up. You can find it on the YouTube. Next up, 1973, one of my least favorite John Williams film scores, The Man Who Loved Cat Dancing. You're thinking the same thing I did, like cat dancing. What the hell? It's a Western with Burt Reynolds. John Williams came in at the last moment to replace the first composer they hired. They were not happy with his work. I don't really care for the score. It sounds very 70s disco to me. You can find it on YouTube. Give it a listen. You might like it. But it's a cowboy film, so you throw it in there with Texas, right? Skirwinkle, the silver screen city of Prague set includes 18 minutes of The Rare Breed. I think that's the only way to get any of it on CD. And then there are some snippets on YouTube as well. But look up that CD. It does have some rare John Williams pieces on it. It's definitely worth to buy. 1974, The Sugarland Express, first Steven Spielberg film with John Williams attached to it. Harmonica is the primary instrument on this release. It's never had an official release. There are 2 unofficial imports out there. I have one. I don't know why this won't get an official release. It seems like a no-brainer. I think you are right. I think Lee Grand was the other cat dancing composer. And I think you can find the original score, on YouTube, if you look for it. 1976, another weird film, Marlon Brando and Jack Nicholson in a cowboy movie, The Missouri Breaks. I don't think this movie takes place in Texas. But it's Cowboys. What's more Texan than Cowboys and barbecue and Ford F-150s and American flags? I don't know. 1984, The River with Mel Gibson. I know what you're thinking. That did not take place in Texas. It took place in Tennessee. But again, it's the South. It's got a Copeland-esque sound to it. I think Texas has a Copeland-esque sound to it. So we're going to throw that in there. 1989, Born on the 4th of July. Stretch. I know the film did not take place in Texas. The main character is not from Texas. The trumpet solos, the swelling violins, sounds very Americana. And once again, Texas is Americana. 1991's JFK. Kind of morbid here. JFK was killed in Dallas. Yeah, kind of morbid. But the motorcade, though, that track is phenomenal. I would love to see that performed in concert with the bagpipes. I know there's a video of it with the Boston Pops in Japan, but there's no bagpipes in it. But to see it performed with the bagpipes would be to die for. Plus the main theme of JFK, beautiful, beautiful music. It just sounds American. 1997's Rosewood. Yes, I know it took place in Florida historically. Florida's in the South, so, it's close enough. But John Williams did a wonderful job of mixing spiritual music with the orchestra. Lovely score. To me, it sounds like the South, and we're back to Texas being in the South. And barbecue. Who doesn't love barbecue? Next, 1998, Saving Private Ryan. This is just from a pure military patriotic standpoint. Hymn to the Fallen. It is Memorial Day for all of y'all in the States, by the way. Thank you to all who served and all who gave it all for the cause of freedom. Thank you all. But again, when I think of Texas, I think of America, and Saving Private Ryan is about America. Last but not least, 2000 is The Patriot. I know Texas wasn't even in existence when that film took place. But once again, America, Texas, barbecue, Ford F-150s, American flags, John Williams, all kind of comes together in The Patriot. I had to include The Patriot. Just had to. Let's see. Since sci-fi sometimes gets labeled as Western space, I like to think that Star Wars would have been taking place in Texas. That's a very good point, and my Birdman logic failed me for not realizing that sooner. Bravo, good sir. Thank you, David Penzak. Most excellent point. Okay, I think someone's challenging me. Try and work Angela's Ashes into the theme now. If I think for probably 5 minutes, I might be able to do that. I'm just not sure how right now. But if anyone's ever seen like a top 5, top 10, top 15, top 20 list that I've made, you realize I have issues with numbers and I have issues with geography as well. So it's Birdman logic. It all works out. Which of these films would you have not included in my Texas list? Tom Sawyer did take place in the South. I'm waiting for a response. Someone. Bit of a stretch for Angela's Ashes, or a bit of a stretch for Tom Sawyer? Or Rosewood, because Rosewood was Florida. Florida and Texas are both on the Gulf Coast. So, makes sense to Birdman brain. But that is my list of the ultimate playset for John Williams for a concert taking place in Texas. I hope everyone's doing well today. Back to tomorrow morning with my top 5 horror movie film soundtracks. If you can guess how many scores will be listed tomorrow in the top 5, I will be most impressed. Well, thank you for taking my word about what constitutes the South. Yeah, I'm sure there are Texans that came from Ireland. I just don't know any of them right now. Where did Sam Houston come from? All right. Skirwinkle thinks there will be 14 titles in the top 5 video tomorrow. I think you're close. I think you're very, very close. but I had to limit myself to 5. There may be like 5 or more, 14 or more. But anyways, thanks for tuning in. Adopt, don't shop. Leave a comment below as to what would make your ultimate playlist for a concert that takes place in Texas. And we will see you tomorrow for the top 5 horror movie film soundtracks. Take care, everybody.